Education spending on both the state and federal levels came under great scrutiny in 2022. Governor Stitt ordered an ongoing audit of the education department, while his own administration underwent a federal audit that determined that ARPA funds had been misspent. And then there was the long-awaited release of an audit of Epic Charter Schools. Our education reporter Taylor Jackson covered that story. Taylor.
Rich, the Oklahoma State Department of Education put Epic Charter School on accreditation with probation after it was revealed that they broke state law. The Oklahoma State Department of Education, or OSDE, launched the investigation last year after a whistleblower voiced concerns in September of 2021.
It is unfortunately true that Epic Charter Schools remains a school that has challenged enterprise, that appears to have misused taxpayer dollars, violated state law, and fostered a climate of uncertainty and fear among school staff.
At a separate news conference just hours later, Epic officials admitted mistakes had been made and said that they were working with OSDE to fix them.
It is clear we have made some policy and procedural mistakes as we have established a new governance and new oversight.
Epic Charter School Superintendent Bart Bainfield says they now have a new Board of Education and a new executive leadership team that is working with OSDE to make improvements.
We are highly committed to being transparent as we take corrective action and will rely on our contacts at the State Department of Education to provide guidance and criticism where needed.
Hoffmeister, who is a member of the OETA board, says the investigation discovered inconsistencies related to enrollment and attendance.
There are specific timelines and requirements for virtual charters in terms of enrollment, attendance, and truancy.
Statewide virtual schools are required to enroll a student only after the first day of instructional activity has been completed. If a student is absent or does not complete instructional activity for 15 days in a row, then the school must withdraw the student on the following day. Upon reviewing Epic's attendance data, OSDE noticed 672 instances where the pattern of attendance was 14-1-14, meaning the student would be absent for 14 consecutive days, present one day, and then absent another 14 days. Hoffmeister says it appears that Epic created an algorithm so that students wouldn't be counted absent on the 15th day in order to receive state funding, resulting in about $780,000 in improperly obtained state funds. OSDE also found concerning information regarding Epic's employee compensation.
Bonuses paid without board approval were one of the findings. The OSDE has previously notified Epic and its violation of Article 10, Section 26 of the Oklahoma Constitution.
The violation Hoffmeister is referring to is the bonus payment to employees that crossed fiscal years. For example, the employee bonus for the 2019-2020 school year was not awarded to employees until December 2020, which would fall under the fiscal year of 2021.
In examining the Community Strategies agenda and materials, it is clear that Community Strategies was never presented with and therefore never approved bonus payments made to administrators on June the 7th, 2021.
Hoffmeister says this not only violated state law, but went against a newly adopted resolution that states that the school must present information for approval regarding financial transactions to the entire board. Without board approval or knowledge, the investigation revealed $8.5 million in bonuses were improperly paid out.
Unfortunately, we see repeats of what we saw and notified Epic of in 2020. So in November of 2020, the State Department sent correspondence to Epic, made a public presentation about the board not approving financial transactions.
Some administrators also received more compensation than what was authorized in their employee agreement.
The Deputy Superintendent of Finance, who worked at Epic for 35% of the school year, received a bonus that was 600% more than the amount in her employment agreement.
The report also found irregularities in converting state funds for personal use and conflict of interest.
The OSDE's findings are as follows. The superintendent of Epic approved and then received his own June 2021 bonus compensation, as well as that of his spouse.
But EPIC board chair member Paul Campbell pushed back on that assertion, claiming the bonuses were earned.
I can say this with high confidence that if we were to go back and re-vote on that again, it would still get approved. So there is no ill intention here. There is no nefarious means. Every single penny that we paid out was earned.
Chief of High Performance Systems, Rebecca Budd, says the new board appears to be right on track.
I fully expect that if they follow the recommendations, you will see improvement.
While EPIC was under investigation, lawmakers were looking for a way to fight food insecurity at the collegiate level. Experts say 30% of Oklahoma's higher ed students will experience food insecurity at some point during their academic careers. This year, the legislature allotted $200,000 to support Oklahoma University's food pantries. Oklahoma ranks 4th in the nation for food insecurity, but many don't realize college students can fall into that category. Once tuition is paid and books are bought, some students struggle to afford food.
Many of them can't have a full-time job. Many of them do and balance that as well. But kind of the food aspect of that sometimes is the first thing to go when budgets get tight.
In many states such as New York, Louisiana, and Oklahoma, legislation has been introduced to help feed college students. Maryland and California already passed the Hunger-Free Campus Bill to assist college food pantries.
The Hunger-Free Campus Bill is the first time that state legislatures began giving money directly to support college hunger. This is, again, something we should see because it's a continuation of the support that we provide in kindergarten through 12th grade.
The Hunger-Free Campus Bill sends money to colleges and universities that have established services to students in need.
It's a way to push them even further and say, we see you trying to do this. We'll give you some funds to be able to buy food for your pantries, to be able to pay students so they can staff the pantry and make sure students get the support that they need.
While the Hunger-Free Campus Bill itself did not pass, the legislature did approve $200,000 in the next state budget to help buy food for Oklahoma University pantries.
Then also, as we look at the food pantry, had a request for that of $200,000 this year. Got involved in that, and we have some of the highest food insecurity, especially among those students. We're 4th in the nation, and so we added that.
The extra funds will be used to help existing food pantries found on Oklahoma University campuses.
Our whole purpose is really to cut down food insecurity on our campus.
The UCO Food Pantry opened its doors in 2012.
It kind of came about through conversations with other community partners that our office worked with, and kind of just them letting us know that a lot of UCO students and faculty and staff were using local food pantries.
Through studies conducted by the university, it was revealed that 47% of UCO students identified as food insecure,
which means that they do not know where their next meal might be coming from. And so that's a large portion of our population, obviously. And so we think our pantry does good work, and our whole goal is really to make sure that our students know that they have food available to them.
The University of Oklahoma opened its pantry in 2017. Campus Care Coordinator Matt Marks says it took a year of planning to get the pantry up and running.
This all started through our Student Government Association here on campus. I served as the executive assistant at that time to our SJ President Daniel Pay and Vice President Michael Letter. This spring, OU Pantry saw an increased number of students and staff members who use the pantry. Before the pandemic, we were averaging about 120 people a week, so student, staff, faculty. Then when everyone got sent home due to the pandemic, our numbers dropped, but they have been going back up ever since we've gotten students back on campus. Now OU Pantry averages 175 people a week in the spring. Summer numbers have also increased. Over the summer, just last week we had 103 people. And normally in the summer, again, students are gone. We just see some students that are still around and staff. We didn't expect that we'd have 100 people during the summer. So the numbers are high right now, and they're going to continue to climb with everything going on. Both UCO and OU have partnered with the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma to provide food for students and faculty in need. Oklahoma college campuses are not alone in the fight against student hunger. Several other states are dealing with the same issue. Rachel Shumick is the founder and CEO of Swipe Out Hunger.
Swipe Out Hunger is a national nonprofit committed to ending college student hunger. We began back in 2010. and now operate on 435 colleges across the U.S.
The organization partners with schools to assist them with implementing practices to help students meet their basic needs.
Nationally, 1 in 3 college students experience food insecurity. And when we polled our students, we found out that nearly half of them also got free breakfast and lunch in school.
Sumik says it's important students have well-rounded meals.
So we're showing up to make sure that those students who, as many know, survive on the ramen noodle diet or just beans and rice as their primary meals, while their peers might have access to different kinds of food, we want to make sure it's actually fair and equitable.
Swipe Out Hunger took a survey of students at their partner schools to see how their food pantries have made an impact on campus.
One of our students said, "The happiest I am all week is when I can go to the campus cupboard and get food for the week. Not having to buy groceries is a freaking lifesaver." Another student who said, "I don't know how I can stay in school without this support."
The University of Oklahoma's food pantry relocated to a new location on campus this fall. This new space is much larger and will allow the pantry team to house more food.